Today on the CTV News at 5, federal funding for a Lethbridge First Nations Center and a Raymond rink. Plus, a trial date is set for an Elk Valley father facing charges in connection to his son's abduction. And
I can feel that he's just pushing all his weight.
One man's face-to-face encounter with a 1,000-pound, 8-foot polar bear.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. The federal government is helping Aboriginal students get a head start on their early education with a sizable investment. Lethbridge MP Jim Hillier made the announcement this afternoon at a Lethbridge First Nations Early Learning Centre. The one-time contribution of nearly $550,000 will be used to help the organization move locations and expand. Officials at the centre say they serve just over 300 kids, but a need in the community of 3 to 4 times that size, calling this funding a blessing.
It's very critical. Without this funding, there's no other unique funding stream because many of our children are from families that can't afford private preschool programs. It focuses on those 0 to 6 years that are such crucial times.
Program officials say they hope to identify those in the most need and keep them from falling through the cracks. Meanwhile, children in Raymond will be lacing up their skates in an improved ice rink next season. $124,000 of federal money will be spent improving the Raymond Arena. The town has matched the grant funds, totaling just under $250,000. Lethbridge MP Jim Hillier says most of the money will go towards upgrading equipment that maintains the ice, which will save money in the long run.
By investing that up front, it's actually going to save the town money over time. It'll make the rink more cost effective. They're also going to be upgrading some of the change rooms and the concession, and just to make it a more user-friendly place.
Now those upgrades are scheduled to begin at the end of the hockey season. After 18 months of careful preparation, a group calling themselves Environment Lethbridge says they're ready to launch operations. Penny Vadnais was at City Council this afternoon to ask for the city's help getting started. The group is asking for $120,000 for each of the next 2 years to be used to cover startup costs, such as storefront and a website. They say they hope to improve the way that Lethbridge residents and businesses think about their environmental impact.
We do a number of things well, but we haven't taken a holistic approach to sustainability and really encouraged our citizens to live in a sustainable manner. We don't take full advantage of our transit system. We could do a better job of doing this, reducing our environmental footprint that way. So there's a number of initiatives that individuals could take, businesses could take, and in an organized effort, we could see a bigger change.
Those against the funding of the group question why a group in Lethbridge needs to be publicly funded when similar organizations in Calgary and Medicine Hat are not. Okay, Dory Rossiter, I followed your advice. I have filled up my car on windshield washer fluid because it is going to get so slushy, but I think I'm going to have to fill up again.
Yeah, it's a strange week. It's a roller coaster week. We start off with the cooler temperatures, strong winds move in, we've got drifting snow, then we're going to have melting snow for a few days, and then we've got another band of snow moving in Friday and cooler temperatures for the weekend. So it's real up and down. We're going to get melting, and then we're going to get a bit of a skating rink. So you just got to be prepared for everything, Jackie, and it sounds like you're sort of doing that.
Thank you, Dory. More weather coming up. RCMP are continuing to investigate a weekend collision that claimed the life of a 72-year-old standoff man. The man's Dodge Dakota truck had been pulled over to the shoulder of the Highway 3 near the Highway 25 turnoff when it was hit from behind by a Dodge Ram pickup truck. The driver was thrown from the vehicle and died at the scene. A 74-year-old passenger in his vehicle was treated for minor injuries. The driver of the other truck, a 26-year-old man from Lethbridge, was treated for minor injuries. Alcohol is not believed to be a factor. The victim's name has not been released. A Medicine Hat chiropractor has been sentenced to 90 days behind bars for sexually assaulting a patient. Dr. Gary Bourdon was found guilty in July of 2012 after a woman testified that she saw Bourdon expose and touch himself during her treatment. After Bourdon himself reported the incident to the Alberta Surgeon and the Alberta College and Association of Chiropractors, he was allowed to continue to practice under the condition that there be a woman chaperone present while he works on female patients. Bourdon has also been sentenced to 2 years probation. A trial date has been set for a 46-year-old Coaldale man facing charges of internal theft. Investigators say the former branch manager of JustCan stole over $257,000 from the company between 2005 and 2010. Rodney Blair Maxwell will be in court for 5 days beginning September the 9th for a trial by judge and jury. And a trial date has been set for the Elk Valley dad at the center of a child abduction case. Robert Barnett appeared in Cranbrook Court to face charges of abduction and theft today. He was charged back in November after his 3-year-old son Alvin disappeared during a supervised visit in Fernie. The case sparked Amber Alerts in both the United States and Canada and a manhunt that ended in Whitefish, Montana. Barnett has opted to be tried by judge and jury, and he will represent himself in court. Barnett has waived his right to a preliminary trial. A 5-day trial by judge and jury has been set to start for June the 18th. And we're going to have to wait another month to learn if a Cranbrook man will be labeled a dangerous offender. 47-year-old Randall Hopley was ordered to undergo an assessment to help the courts determine if he should be labeled a dangerous offender. That assessment, it's now complete. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, Hopley's lawyer couldn't be in court today to represent him. Now that's pushed the case back a month. In 2011, Hopley took 3-year-old Keenan Hebert from his home in Sparwood, BC, and held him for 4 days before returning him to his home unharmed. Hopley has pleaded guilty to the abduction. His next court appearance is slated for February the 12th. And a third high-profile East Kootenay court case was also before the courts today. 29-year-old Tammy Bouvette of Cranbrook is charged with second-degree murder in the drowning death of a toddler that she was babysitting. 19-month-old Deanna Teeple's lifeless body was found unresponsive in a bathtub at Bouvette's home in May of 2011. Bouvette, a mother of 4, will be back before the courts February the 12th. A 64-year-old man from Sparwood has been arrested after police found a sizable amount of cocaine in his possession. The cocaine was seized during a search that happened back on January the 4th. Police say they also found drug trafficking paraphernalia, weapons, and $16,000 in cash. The man was taken into police custody and could face charges including possession of a controlled substance for the purpose of trafficking. 16-year-old boy accused of abducting his pregnant girlfriend made his first court appearance today in a Swift Current courtroom. The teen and a second 16-year-old boy were charged after police issued an Amber Alert early Thursday. It followed word from the family of a 14-year-old pregnant girl from Maple Creek that a pair of masked intruders had allegedly taken her. The 38-year-old woman is also facing charges. It's the tale of 2 horses. Friday morning, a farm southwest of Tabor was targeted for a second time in a very suspicious theft and vandalism incident. The owner came out to find their Palomino quarter horse was missing its tail. Its hair had been chopped off. This is the second attack since November. Police believe there's more than one culprit involved and are currently looking at 2 theories. On the one hand, there is a legitimate market for horse hair. It's valued at about $400 per pound and can be used to make horse reins, belts, and jewelry. But Constable Keith McDonald says it's also the possibility that the horse or its owner was a target of a malicious act.
The second theory is that it's for vindictive purposes. This specific horse has been targeted twice. The value of the horse before the tail was cut was $1,800. After the tail was cut, it's $800. Also, it significantly affects the horse. So the horse, horses have feelings, and they communicate their feelings through their tail. And this horse is no longer able to do that, so it can't tell you how it's feeling, can't tell you what it's going through anymore.
Although the horse may be emotionally scarred, it will only be temporary. It will take about 2 years for the horse to grow its tail back to its full length. The Banff Mountain Film Festival is currently on tour across North America with stops across Canada, and it has completed a list of sellout performances in Lethbridge. But Nancy Hansen's work is only just beginning. Over 48 days, Hansen will travel from Yellowknife to New York City, bringing mountain adventure stories to life. Terry Vogt reports.
The crowd starts arriving well before showtime. In Lethbridge, the Banff Mountain Film Festival has sold out in every one of the 13 years it's been here.
We're going to go mountain biking,
alpine climbing, skiing.
And Nancy Hansen is the person who will make sure everything goes smoothly.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the eye candy. I would say it's pretty close to my dream job.
Nancy is one of 8 road warriors for the World Festival Tour, a nickname she'll earn by taking the films on the road over a period of 48 days, traveling to communities in Alberta, the Northwest Territories, and the northeastern seaboard of the United States.
There's 2 parts of it that are inspirational to me. One are the things that people are getting up to, and the other thing is the actual filming, the technical aspects of the filming of it, because these outdoor adventure sports are not easy environments to film in, and it blows me away the lengths that some of the filmmakers go to put together a good film.
During the tour, Hansen won't let the films out of her sight. She'll work with local organizers, and she'll introduce each show.
You're going to meet Lily, the world's fastest Jack Russell Terrier. I try and tell people something about it that they're not going to find out from within the film, maybe a good story behind the making of the film or a little tidbit about the filmmaker. My job is to make happy people happier. Basically, that's the way I look at it. And so I get to share this passion that I have for these films with audiences. So, you know, I instantly have a room full of people that I have something in common with. So it's just a fantastic job in that way. How's everybody doing today?
Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
The Banff Mountain Film Festival is showing in Medicine Hat tonight and tomorrow from 7 until 10 at the Monarch Theatre on the downtown core. You can still get tickets for both, although tonight's is close to being sold out. Coming up after the break, we're going to show you a robot that was created to vomit.